Fowler, we got Jeremy in the building today. Let's get some news. What's going on with Trey Hendrickson?
Laura, Trey Hendrickson and the Bengals appear to be at a stalemate on a contract extension. I've checked in on this today, and sides are sort of waiting. Not a lot of movement on this front. The Bengals do want to extend Hendrickson. Hendrickson wants to be a Bengal. They want to work something out, but they know that there is work to do based on this ballooning pass rush market, well above $30 million per year. The Bengals did draft pass rusher Shamar Stewart in the first round. That should not affect their Hendrickson plans, I'm told. And you got George Pickens. Trade talks or any sort of buzz around that has cooled. There was a little bit of smoke out of the draft, but I was told that Pickens, in the end, wants to be in Pittsburgh. Sort of flirted with a trade request, but in the end, loves Mike Tomlin, wants to be a part of things. And from the Steelers' perspective, they want to keep all their arsenal intact because of the quarterback situation. They want to look attractive with the wide receivers. Well, there you have them. Aaron Rodgers. You like that segue?
I do.
So, I continue to hear that the Steelers remain optimistic here. They passed up on Jackson Dart in the first round, a quarterback they liked. They passed on Shedeur Sanders multiple times, a quarterback I was told they liked as a point guard distributor, at least they were somewhat comfortable with. Passed on him, took Will Howard in the 6th round. So all signs continue to point to Rodgers being in Pittsburgh, but it's his first foray into free agency in his 20-year career, so there will be no bold predictions right now.
And as Rodgers said when he was on the Pat McAfee show, which is the most recent time we really heard from him, he's not in any rush to make anything happen, so we all wait and see.
Plenty of time.
If anything will happen. All right, speaking of quarterback situations, this one's a little more figured out in some ways. Let's zero in on the Giants. Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston already in the QB room. As you see there, them taking Jackson Dart in round 1 of this year's draft. Now, many have said on this show Dart shouldn't play right away. Here's Joe Schoen, the GM, on the plan for Dart this season.
We went through with Josh Allen. We had a little bit different quarterback room at the time, but he was going to sit his rookie year, and then halftime of the opening game, we were getting smoked by Baltimore, so we put him in, and the rest was history. So that plan didn't go as well, but we didn't have a Russell Wilson or Jameis Winston in the room. So again, Jackson's going to come in. He's got to learn the offense. There's a lot to learn. These NFL offenses are hard to grasp and pick up and then be able to go out and execute. So, you know, the ability for him to learn and sit behind two consummate pros already will be beneficial for him. And then, you know, if his number's called and he has to go out and execute, he's going to need to be ready.
Anybody else kind of sense he's leaving the door open there to see him a little earlier? I don't know. We'll see. It's not often that a quarterback picked in the first round does not start at all in his rookie season. From 2015 to 2024, there were 35 first-round quarterbacks. You see a couple of them on the screen there. Just 2 of them didn't start a single game their rookie year. One of them was J.J. McCarthy, who was hurt last season. The other was Jordan Love, who was sitting behind Aaron Rodgers. So it kind of shows you that it's likely we'll see Jackson Dart at some point. Jeremy, what are you hearing about the Giants' plans at QB?
That the stage is set for Jackson Dart to sit an extended period, and that's ultimately what the New York Giants want. Russell Wilson's in pole position to be QB1. It's similar, I'm told, to his Pittsburgh situation, that the job is loosely yours. As long as you continue to produce and earn it, then you can keep it. Now, we know in the NFL that could change week to week in a hurry, but the fact that they added Jameis Winston as well, the fact they feel stronger across the roster, particularly on defense, where that defensive line should be really good, they feel like they can win games with just capable, turnover-free quarterback play, that they don't really have to rush this. The feeling I get talking to other teams is that Dart was one of the quarterbacks in particular that did need some time coming from Ole Miss system. So we'll see. Pressure could change things, but for the most part, their blueprint is to sit Dart for a while.
Yeah, it's a totally different story if they're not doing well and the fans start clamoring. Tim, you think Russ makes it through the season with Dart there?
I don't, because look, there's 2 teams that are definitely better than the Giants in their own division. And so, like, that's pressure enough. And so the pressure is going to be there. And the Giants are one of the most patient organizations in the NFL. Look, when Eli Manning, ended up there, look, the plan wasn't to play Eli right away. They had a Super Bowl winning quarterback in Kurt Warner as their starting quarterback. But ultimately, they wanted him to play. They wanted him to develop. And, look, the reality is like starting the back half of the season, his rookie year, prepared him going forward. And so, look, I'm not saying that the plan is going to be exactly the same, but look, it makes sense it's easier to get better while you're playing than watching somebody else play. He's got all kinds of talent, Jackson Dart does. He's got plenty of time on task. He's not one of these quarterbacks that's come into the NFL with 20 snaps or 20 starts under his belt. He's experienced. I don't think there's any question. We see him as the starting quarterback this season for the New York Giants.
All right, now wait a second. I think our viewers are pretty smart cookies, but just in case you missed it, Tim was in all those vintage Eli. But there we go. Thank you very much. Hey, Tim, look at you.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know.
A lot more hair.
That was pre-comb.
A lot more hair.
Yeah, the pre-comb over there. Oh, hey, thanks, D-Wood. Okay.
You look great, Tim.
Listen, that hat went on quicker. There it is. That's what we're looking for there. Looking like, that's a tough look there. It's not an athletic look, not at all.
No. Here's what we say about Tim is the fact that your head looks great, so you're lucky because not everybody can say that. All right, go ahead, D-Wood. What do you think about the Giants situation at quarterback?
Yeah, listen. I don't put a timetable on any of these guys. We've seen it. We've seen guys be successful both ways, whether they play, right out of the gate, or guys that sit a while. I think it really depends on the prospect, how well they digest information and goes out there and applies it on the field. I'm old enough to remember in 2012, Russell Wilson, a rookie, coming in and dethroning Matt Flynn, who had just got paid by the Seattle Seahawks, and he became the starting quarterback his rookie year and went on to win Rookie of the Year. So I think it all depends on the quarterback. I know the Giants, want to sit him and let him develop, but again, to me, it depends on the prospect.
Yeah, he's also super competitive. Not that changes everything, but he's going to be really motivated to try to learn this offense quick. You guys are going to love this, okay? New on NFL Lives, we get closer to the Kentucky Derby coming our way. The Panthers wide receiver Xavier Legette hanging out with some horses ahead of the Kentucky Derby. And check this out.
Smiling, please. You got to smile.
He's got him smiling. Look at him.
Make sure you get a smile. Smile one more time.
Oh, that's a great smile. D-Wood, I like it. D-Wood
That's
really
me all
like
the
that.
way. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a country boy, so I like that. That's right up my alley.
It's so cute. All right, here's Legette, too. He just caught up with Marty Smith at the Derby a little while ago, was asked if he could ride one of these Derby horses. Listen to this.
How do you think you two would do on one of those horses you saw back there on the backside this morning?
Man, all I need is a couple training, man. Get the feel for these kind of horses, because, these way different than what we ride, man. We got them standardbreds, these thoroughbreds, they way faster than what we ride. Just give me a couple days on it. Let me get used to it. I'll be able to do it.
I love the confidence. That's a different speed now, right?
Yeah.
D-Wood, you think you ride one of those? You ever tried?
The Philadelphia Eagles aren't just looking to defend their Super Bowl title. They're aiming to build a dynasty. And now, a new possibility is grabbing the attention of the entire NFL. The team may be eyeing none other than Amari Cooper, the five-time Pro Bowler with significant stints at the Cowboys, Browns, and Bills. As the season approaches, this potential signing could change the landscape of the league. In today's video, we're going to tell you everything about this hot rumor, what it could mean, and why Cooper's name is gaining momentum. Before diving into this potential bombshell involving Amari Cooper, it's important to highlight a growing concern within the Eagles roster: the lack of depth at the wide receiver position. The duo of A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith is dominant, but behind them, the situation looks quite different. Jahan Dotson disappointed in 2024 with only 216 yards, and the available names, such as Johnny Wilson, a sixth-round rookie, and Terrace Marshall Jr., are still uncertainties. That's precisely why the front office is on high alert. The team knows that, to maintain an elite level, they need to secure reliable weapons for Jalen Hurts. The current situation with the Eagles' wide receivers is concerning for the coaching staff. After Dotson's underwhelming performance, which led to him being seen as the ideal WR3, the team is now looking for more reliable alternatives. Johnny Wilson, while talented, still needs to adapt to the NFL, and Terrace Marshall Jr., who comes as another reclamation project, offers no guarantees. This is where Amari Cooper's name is starting to gain more and more traction behind the scenes. The veteran's experience and technical ability could fill this gap immediately, providing Hurts with a reliable third option and further expanding the team's offensive options. So, Eagles fans, I want to know your opinion. Do you think the current wide receiver group is ready for another Super Bowl run? Or do you agree that the team urgently needs an experienced name like Amari Cooper to strengthen the offense? Do you think Johnny Wilson and Terrace Marshall Jr. have the potential to surprise? Or is the risk too great to bet solely on the young players? Share your thoughts below, because the fans' voice matters, and a lot. Don't forget to hit that like button if you're also keeping an eye on this free agent market. Now that you've understood the context of the Eagles' offense and why the front office is paying attention to the market, it's time to talk about the big bombshell that's shaking up NFL rumors. A news story that could add even more weight to this championship roster and shows how the Eagles are really committed to staying on top of the league. And the name being discussed is that of an elite veteran, with 5 Pro Bowl selections and a hunger for a title. So get ready, because now we're going to tell you everything about the possible arrival of Amari Cooper in Philadelphia. The big bombshell this time is that the Philadelphia Eagles are seriously considering signing Amari Cooper. The 30-year-old wide receiver, who has had standout stints with the Dallas Cowboys, Cleveland Browns, and Buffalo Bills, is available on the market after a quieter 2024 season. However, his experience and technical quality don't go unnoticed. With the team looking to add a major reinforcement to ensure depth and more offensive options for Jalen Hurts, Cooper seems like the ideal solution. Signing Cooper would not only add a proven talent to the wide receiver position but also raise the stakes for the team's title defense. Amari Cooper's arrival on the Eagles roster could have a massive impact on both the offense and the team's overall strategy. With Cooper, Jalen Hurts would gain a third elite option alongside A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, making the offense even more unpredictable and dangerous for opposing defenses. Furthermore, the veteran's experience would help mentor young receivers like Johnny Wilson and Terrace Marshall Jr., boosting the development of the position for the future. On the other hand, this move could also signal that the Eagles' front office is not satisfied with their internal options and is looking to solidify the rotation. Now, I want to hear from you. Is Amari Cooper the right player for the Eagles this season? Or should the team bet more on their young receivers and save a veteran signing for later? If Cooper comes in, he could be the missing piece, or do you think the team already has what it takes to pursue another title? Leave your opinion in the comments and tell us what you would do if you were Howie Roseman, the Eagles' general manager. Let's see what the fans think about this move. And that's where we wrap up with this big move that could change the course of the Eagles season. Stay tuned to the channel for more updates on Philadelphia's next steps and all the market moves. The NFL is always full of surprises, and we'll keep you informed on everything. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button because here you'll find the best news in the world of American football. See you in the next video.